Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Scavenger here, and today we're taking another look at Ruin King. So, let me get something off my chest first. I believe I mentioned a couple episodes ago that the last episode we did, of course, which was I believe in the Jaghook's warehouse, was gonna be the final episode. Well, I truly apologize because I actually found out something. I stumbled over something when I was doing the video for the compilation video for the cutscenes as well as the rest conversations and dialogues in this game, which you could also check out up above somewhere on your left or on your top left or your top right, not really sure. But yeah, basically I did mention that this series is done. However, I have stumbled over something and I think it's important for me to cover it. It's not necessary because it's very minor, very insignificant, but I think it's important to cover it because I am aiming for a perfect experience of Ruin King, if you will. So yeah, that's basically what we're going to be doing today. Okay, first of all, you will notice that we are here in the Well of the Mother Serpent because that is that's because the area that we need to go to, the insignificant minor detail that we missed that I'm going to show you today is actually in the Well of the Mother Serpent. So let me just go ahead and show you where we are specifically first. We are in the captain's quarters, and the reason for that is because I actually missed something over here. Do note this part is not necessary to go into this next area, but essentially I think it's important to cover it because it's very easily missable. In fact, on my playthrough on the channel, I definitely missed it, which is why we're back here. So let me just go ahead and show you what it is. If we select Misfortune for this one, if we have Misfortune in the team, and if we drop a scan, you'll notice that there is a gold circle in the back of this chair. Now this area, which is the captain's quarters, was actually visited on the first time we came here. The first time we visited here, I should say, is that I believe when we wanted to get rid of the bandits in the Well of the Mother Serpent. Now, the bandits are missing, and apparently I missed this on the first visit. So let me just go ahead and interact with this gold item here and see what it is. Alright, so we get something called a lower decks key. Now this is important because the lower decks key will grant us access into the two rooms in the lower decks. If I just show you where it is, actually I can't really show you. This map is a bit not that not that great, I would say. But yeah, I tell you what, I'll go to the ship later and you'll see what I mean. So yeah, we need to head to the lower decks, and I believe that will grant us access into a couple of chests. Now, that's not the important part. The important part that I want to talk about, which is the important part of this not important area, if you will, which is a little bit of a redundant statement. But yeah, the area in question is going to be Scavenger's Plunge. I must have missed this on my first visit. I probably wasn't paying too much attention, but yeah, apparently there's an area called Scavenger's Plunge, and it's only accessible via a stairwell over on this side. However, this stairwell over here is actually blocked by a rock, blocked by a boulder. I'll show you what I mean in a second, but in order to get access to this boulder, essentially you have to complete the quest where I said, we came here and we tested the bandit with Alawi here. So essentially the bandits have cleared out, we've cleaned house, and basically when you interact with this table for the first time, you should be able to retrieve a bag of gunpowder. Now, the option is not popping up for me because I've already retrieved the bag of gunpowder. So let me just quickly go ahead and head back into, head back into the vessel here, which I believe is this side. So we're gonna head back into the vessel, and I believe there will be a cannon nearby, and it should allow us to fire that cannon into into the boulder, and it should give us access into Scavenger's Plunge. So let's go ahead and head over there. So I've already cleared out the enemies before I started this episode, just to save us some time. And basically, yeah, this is the cannon in question. Now, if we go ahead and interact with this cannon, I'll show you what I mean. Compared to the decay and disrepair surrounding the area, this cannon has stood the test of time. Too heavy to move without proper tools, looters may have ignored it in favor of easier to carry items. Down its sides you see a boulder that potentially blocks a walkable path alongside the cliff. This is the boulder I'm talking about that is blocking the path to the Scavenger's Plunge. So, if we go ahead and hit continue, there are plenty of cannonballs nearby, but the cannon lacks the gunpowder to fire any of them. So we need to add the gunpowder, which I again said we retrieved in the captain's quarters area during our first visit. You empty the gunpowder from the pouch found in the captain's quarters into the cannon. The cannon is now primed for use. Okay, cool. Alright, what do we like to do with the cannon? So, we need to fire the cannon at the boulder, and I believe there is another thing that we need to fire at. So let me just quickly show you what to do first. If we go ahead and select point the cannon downward, and we select turn the cannon left, this is the orientation that will allow us to fire the cannon straight into the boulder. So let me just go ahead and fire the cannon and, show you what I mean. As best as you can, you guide a cannonball into the cannon and arm it. You light the fuse and brace yourself. The border obstructing the path is no more. You can now traverse the area freely. Cool. Okay, so you might have noticed that we shot down that boulder and from the cutscene earlier, and now we have access to Scavenger's Plunge. However, for those of you who are, doing this for the first time, say you stumbled upon, what's this place called? The Well of the Mother Serpent, right? Say if you stumble upon the Well of the Mother Serpent really early on in the game, there's actually a very cool collectible that you could pick up in this area as well for free, no problem whatsoever. You don't need to spend any of the in-game currency. So all you need to do is you just need to point the cannon to the right. The cannon's already down. All you need to do is turn the cannon to the right. That's because you are going to be aiming at a seagull's nest. Now, I know that isn't, that's basically animal cruelty, but essentially, if you shoot down that seagull's nest, you're going to get a calcified ring or something. So, let me just go ahead and fire the cannon into the seagull's nest. Remember, the orientation for this one is down and to the right. As best you can, you get a cannonball. Okay, we already know what it is. Let's fire it. Something fell from the seagull nest you shot cruelly. It tumbled into the the turbulent waters below. Well, I like how it points out cruelly because obviously, it's not that good, it's not a good thing to do. But I don't need the loot per se. I'm just gonna show you how to get it. But before we actually go on to that area, I'm just gonna show you what we can do with the lower decks key. Now, with the lower decks key equipped, we can actually have access into this side over here. And as you can see, there's a chest inside which we can loot. I think it's gonna give some low-level gear. Sailor's jacket should be level 10 or something because this is a really early area, and essentially, we are at a very high level, so I don't think we need the gear ideally. But we go ahead and loot this area again. There is a couple more chests, and we can actually head down into, I think, a second level or something. So, second level and to the second floor, I guess. I'm not sure where this goes, but we're just gonna leave it for now because it's not important. So, let me just quickly head back out into Scavenger's Plunge because that is where we need to go to today, and that is the focus of today's episode. So, let me just quickly head on over there real quick. In fact, I think I'm gonna cut the video and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, guys, so this is the stairwell in question that leads down to Scavenger's Plunge. When you first reach this area, it's very easily missable because you might not have thought that this boulder is actually interactable. Maybe you guys are more keen and you might have saw that, but for me personally, I did not notice that, and essentially I just avoided it entirely. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and head down into the second level. Do know that Scavenger's Plunge is kind of laggy for me because there's a lot of water going on. I found that whenever there's a body of water, essentially it lags my game to shit. So yeah, just to let you guys know. But let me just go ahead and head in and show you what I mean. Okay, so here we are in Scavenger's Plunge. So let me just take the elevator down and it should bring us to where we need to go. And this is very interesting because there's really not much to do here except for one thing to check out. In fact, I will even come back here after we do the thing that I want to do here. That's because there's a couple of interactables. Again, not really important, but I think it's worth covering as well. So yeah, as you can see, the FPS is absolutely horrendous here because of my hardware, but it should be okay. So you might notice right off the bat when you first enter that there is a human over here. So let me just speak to this human and if we can interact with him, of course. This FPS though. Okay, there we go. Stumbling alone at the bottom of the shaft is a disheveled man. Muttering to himself, he doesn't look up at anyone approaching him, seemingly unaware of those around him, and just continues to turn his head and address people or things no one sees. Okay, so let's get his attention. Nothing seems to grab his attention, even when standing right in front of his face. He stares at something past you, at something that can't be seen or understood. Okay, so you might think that this guy's a crazy old man, and you would be forgiven to think so. That's because he is a crazy old man. But however, if we go ahead and interact with this thing over here, as you can see, there is a book, a book on a crate over here. If we interact with this book is actually going to tie into this guy. This journal details the operations of a scavenger crew that recovered tidings offered to the Mother Serpent. Apparently, one of them was extremely meticulous in recording their findings. A few sections stand out. If we read the week 1 passage, let's see what it says. Week 1 starts optimistic. Tom, the biggest and burliest of the bunch, has the best lungs and recovered hundreds of coins from diving alone. They discuss the cost and benefit of buying a diving suit to collect more coins faster. There is some debate, but economics prevails and they get a diving suit. Okay, let's read the week 4 passage. Divers keep seeing a shadow follow them during their dives. One of the crew, Linus, insists on stopping, but the others won't listen to him. It's implied that they don't respect Linus because he has the weakest lungs, which he claims is because of a childhood illness. This is the Linus fellow over here, and he will attack you later. So let me just go ahead and read the final entry, and you'll see what I mean. Week 6. At the beginning of week 6, most of the crew died in a whirlpool that happened in otherwise calm waters. Linus was the only survivor. The author notes that Linus doesn't want to even pawn their latest haul, a relic that is stored in the box nearby. Okay, so if we go ahead and look inside the box, opening a box, there's a relic inside. Surely the Mother Serpent would appreciate its return. Alawi could head to the bow of the ship and offer it back to the sea. We get something called a golden idol or something. So if once we hit leave, this guy's gonna attack us. What are you doing with that? Put that down. You don't understand what that thing is. It's cursed. You'll kill us all.
You know who I am.
Bury me at sea.
That's what you get from my crew.
You see, this is why I say it's a very, very insignificant area, because the battle itself is very low level. Level 10, for those of you stumbling upon this for the first time, of course it could be challenging, but if you, like me, say, found out about it later, you could potentially just ignore it. It's not that important, you know, in this area. So, with the golden serpent thingy recovered, let's just quickly go ahead and head back up first. That's because we want to return it at the well of the Mother Serpent, the bow of the ship actually. Alright guys, here we are at the bow of the ship. So let me just go ahead and use Alawi here and offer a tiding. The bow of this maroon ship serves as a place of pilgrimage for those who wish to offer tidings to ever-present Serpent Mother. Let's offer a tiding with Alawi. And we're gonna offer the item that we just received, which is the Golden Teeth offering. And you'll see why I say the reward here is not that great. Great Kraken, the culprits who stole your gift have failed their test. Their souls wither at the bottom of the sea. In returning what is rightfully yours, I hope to right their wrong, Alawi says. She tosses the relic far overboard and follows it with her eyes as it smashes through the water's surface and sinks almost instantly to the depth's darkness. We are done here, she says, looking at the water, lost in thought and not slightly. Okay, so we don't get any rewards there, but actually there is something that we could potentially check out, and you'll see why I said it's not important, because it's really, you know, there's really nothing to do in this area anymore. That's basically it. You were offered a golden tiding, there's really nothing left to do. So, let me just cut back down into Scavenger's Plunge, and essentially I'll show you what we can do there. Alright guys, so once we return to Scavenger's Plunge, you'll notice that there are a couple of, what do you call this, a couple of spirits, if you will, that are in the area. So we go ahead and interact with them. They don't really do anything, to be honest. Let me just see if we could get one to interact with. Okay, there we go. In the haze of a smoke, you make out an object, but just as it starts forming into something recognizable, it dissolves into nothing. Echoing whispers come from all sides and nowhere at all. We can listen to the whispers and see what it says. The words in the whispers are almost formless. Eventually, bits of sentences such as need to find more, not enough yet, and don't be scared can be heard. There's an aura of greed and anger emanating from this spirit. Okay, so that's basically it. It doesn't really do anything. And to my understanding, I think this spirit is references to the people that essentially were looting this place. And, you know, if you read the entries earlier, they died. So I guess this spirit must be the souls of these people. So let me just go ahead and interact with this second spirit and see what it says. To my understanding, it's going to be same like the earlier one. It's not going to do anything. In the haze of smoke, you make an object. Echoing whispers. Alright, we already know. Let's see what it says. Hopefully it's not the same thing. Raspy sounds form in the words as the smoke billows and dissipates. Eventually the words curse, freedom, and stolen can be heard. There's an aura of remorse and despair emanating around this spirit. Okay, so that's about it. So there's really nothing much. In fact, there's something over here that we might have missed. Oh, right, this is the item that we, you know, we shot out of the seagull's nest earlier. And this is where we are supposed to retrieve it. So we go ahead and interact with it. The trinket from the seagull's nest has washed ashore, and this should be a calcified ring. So I believe this is level 10, which is not that important. But let me just go ahead and show you one more thing that we can do here. There is actually a wall that we can break down with Braum if you bring Braum along. That's why I have Braum here. So let me just go ahead and break down this wall, and I believe there should be a chest inside. Okay, so there's the chest. Let me just quickly loot this chest and see what we get. Okay, we get a Kraken Shield and 2 times Moderate Cleansing Potion. Again, these are not important because I am at a higher level, but it could be important for you, say if you're playing this, you're playing this part on, say, a lower level. But that's basically it. So this is Scavenger's Plunge. There's really nothing else much to do, aside from, interact with Linus, take him out, and essentially just return the Golden Type Offering, and I think, speak to some of the spirits as well as loot the chest, in the back, in the back area over there. But aside from that, there's really nothing to do here, and I think the most interesting thing of this episode is essentially the cannonball firing to get this area unlocked. But yeah, since there's nothing to do here, I'm gonna end this video for the final time. Hopefully, we don't stumble upon into any more, secrets in this game. And if we do stumble upon any more secrets, don't worry, I will cover it in this video. But until then, it's possibly gonna be the final video for now. So hopefully, you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, consider leaving a like as well as subscribing to the channel. I really do appreciate your support here. But most importantly, it's so that you don't miss future episodes or uploads of single player playthroughs of content just like this one. And with that being said, this is Kevlo signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully, I'll catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.